going to look at how we exaggerate. Now, exaggerating in normal circumstances isn't always the best thing to do, but in theatre it's essential. It's a way to create stories that are so much bigger and so much more interesting than perhaps what is normally there. And it's a way for you guys to really get to the core of that story that you want to tell, how you are really feeling. It becomes something more dramatic, something more impactful to our audience. For example, today I was really hungry. That's all. So today I was so hungry. It's like I haven't eaten for about 3 weeks. There was no food in the cupboards at all. There was absolutely nothing there. No food. I hadn't seen a crisp for about a year. So I decided I would go to the cake shop. And at the cake shop I would buy the best and the biggest cake that they had ever sold me. The cake shop though was thousands of miles away. It's not at all, it's about a mile. It's thousands of miles away, the cake shop that I would have to go to. And I went outside and my bike had been broken up into tiny little pieces. So I had to walk. So I walked and I walked and I walked thousands upon thousands of miles. That is how desperate I was to get a cake. And I got to the cake shop and there was an enormous queue. It went on for miles and miles. There was only about 2 people in there. No, there was hundreds of people in there. But I waited and I stood in that queue for hours. No, for days. I waited for days and days and days to get to the front of the queue. And then when I did, I looked around. And there was hundreds upon hundreds of cakes. The biggest, brightest, most creamiest cakes that I had ever seen. Cakes everywhere! Which one would I choose? So, I dialed. Beep, 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 and I got through to the Martian cake gods. What would be the best cake for me to eat when I haven't eaten for about 14 weeks? Really? Oh, okay. I'll have 1 cream eclair, please. Bang. We took a simple story of being hungry and needing a cake, and we exaggerated everything around it. And by exaggerating everything around it, we find new stories. We find new layers to the story that we're telling. Instead of just being hungry, we can start thinking and talking about the sadness that we have about how hungry we are, what that's done to us, or maybe the anger that it's brought because we didn't have any food in the cupboards. It's about taking from the tiny, tiny element and creating and exaggerating much, much more. And while we're doing that, if we throw in the what if word, what if when we got to the cake shop there was a queue? What if when we got to the cake shop it was a queue of hungry, rabid dogs? What if and so on. Exaggerate those narrations, exaggerate the story that you want to tell. A lot of it you'll throw in the bin, but the stuff that lands and stays there will create the best story that you can tell, and you'll really be able to add your voice. So I'd like you guys to do exactly that. I want you to find just one sentence, one simple statement about something you're feeling, something you're thinking. Might be, I would like to have lasagna for dinner. And then from that one sentence, I want you to start exaggerating off each part of it until you've pulled a whole piece of paper together with a whole story of your lasagna that night. Have fun, guys, and we'll see you soon.